myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real weapons being real we sell. My life to see the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help.
Money, money, money. That's all you got to wrong being wealthy. Like Kanye West says, having money is not everything, not having it is. So Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth. Yo, it's the love of money that's moving. You don't like money so much, why you get up and go to work? Yeah, it's like to do with the work. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. It's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. And now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the working class, Mr. H Cortez.
Good morning, Black world, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working men and women all over this great nation of ours. It is truly an honor, privilege, and a blessing to be coming to you live and direct from the Black Wealth Movement studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Guys, if you have not already checked out the Black Wealth Movement, it is a network of individuals committed to bringing financial literacy to the Black community. We teach 6 main areas of wealth building: entrepreneurship, tax minimization, debt elimination, credit education, asset accumulation, and asset protection. Man, you're not building wealth if you don't fundamentally understand all of those 6 components, or at least have some coaches and mentors in your life that can help you understand those components as well. So all you have to do if you want to learn more is text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. Again, text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. Ask yourself this one question. You've been doing money your way all your life. How's that working for you? If it's not working for you, then how about you try to look at money our way, do money our way, implement the strategies that we teach, and see if you get a different result. Do me a huge favor, if you're checking us out on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe to the channel today. If you have not already, and then copy the link to today's show and share it on your favorite social media timeline, whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you like to share stuff. Also, for those of you who are on Facebook, do the same thing for me. The likes and the hearts, that means something in the world of Facebook, guys. So if I say something that makes sense, go ahead and give me some likes and the hearts, and make sure you share this out to your timeline. It's time for us to stop doing broke people-ish, expecting to get wealthy. We're doing broke people things, and we're expecting to get wealthy. It doesn't work that way, y'all. So we're gonna break some stuff down. I've been reading from the Trash Man to the Cash Man by Myron Golden. So I'm gonna give you some tips and some points out of his book. So go ahead and share this out, and then remind me mid-show to ask those who come on a little bit later to go ahead and share the show as well. For those of you who do not know, you may be new to the show, let me let you know exactly who the show is for. This show is for risers and grinders only, man. If you're ready to get up, get out, and get something, then this is your show. This show is for legacy builders, man. If you're sick and tired of each generation having to start over from scratch, then yeah, this is your show, man. You want to plug your kids into it. You want to plug those you want to vacation with and build wealth with. You want to plug those people into this type of stuff, man, so we can start transforming those around us, so we can start building wealth collectively. All you got to do is partner with like-minded people, and that's what this show is all about. On the other hand, who is this show not for? This show is not for that bump on the log, that person who's got a problem with money, the person who thinks wealthy people are jerks, thinks capitalism is evil, think money is a dirty word. This ain't your show, man. Because when you think that way about money, you don't put money in its proper perspective, you will always repel it away from you instead of attracting it to you. So you have to understand that. Now, I don't have a problem with you not wanting to be wealthy. That's your prerogative. I only have a problem with you having a problem with me wanting to be wealthy. If you don't want to be wealthy, that's fine, but don't superimpose that onto me and get mad because I do want to be wealthy. That's where I have a problem. And I can tell you each and every morning, if you've never seen a future billionaire before, then I want you to take a screenshot, geez, and watch your boy work, because it is going down. Today's show is also brought to you by Young Biz Kids. Guys, Young Biz Kids is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that teaches entrepreneurship and financial literacy to our babies. If you are interested in helping support that organization, I have a sponsorship package. They have their lunch, the award banquet and luncheon coming up on November 18th. So what I would like for you to do is consider buying 2 tickets to that luncheon. $20 each. So a $40 donation, which is fully tax deductible because they are a 501c3 organization. And I'm going to give you a 1-hour consultation for free for your donation. I'm going to give you 3 months free of Monetize My Life Academy, my branding and marketing school. And I'm going to give you a plug on this show on my website, on my fan page, and all of that good stuff as well for your tax deductible donation or support of Young Biz Kids, because I just love teaching those young folks over there, and they're doing some amazing things, but we can't run that program without resources. So instead of begging for resources, we like to give to those who want to have resources or who want to help, and then we give you things back in exchange for that help instead of just asking for a donation. Now, today's topic, man, we've got to go all the way in today, y'all. And seriously, this is going to be a 2-part deal, man. We're going to do today's. We're just going to talk about the differences between poor people and wealthy people. And then tomorrow, we're going to give you some strategies and some game plan on some things that you need to be executing on if you are serious about building wealth. So let's get right to it, man. Today is the last day we're going to do any poor people, broke people stuff expecting to get wealth. You see, I know this time of year, some people are priming the pump right now, getting geared up to go do a whole bunch of broke people stuff for the rest of the year. And all while they're doing it, they're going to be screaming legacy, and I want to build wealth. And I'm sick and tired of being broke. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of that. But all the while they're screaming that stuff, they're going to be heavily engaged in broke people activities. So my man Myron Golden has a 2-sentence wealth building formula that is so very fundamentally simple. Let me just read it to you so I can give it to you verbatim. 2-sentence wealth building formula. And yeah, I mean, it's simple. The 2-sentence wealth building formula is this: if you want to become wealthy, then you have to find out what the top 5% of wealthy people do financially and do the same thing. That's the first sentence. The second sentence is this: you've got to find the second sentence in the 2-sentence wealth building formula is even more important than the first. You've got to find out what the bottom 95% are doing financially, and whatever else you do, don't do that. See, we sit around and we look and we judge one another because we're human. That's just what we do. And we see the results of what other people are doing, but we do the same thing, but we'll say something crazy like, yeah, I'm doing it, but I'm doing it my way, or I'm putting my own twist on it, or I'm doing. No, man, we're doing the same thing as the bottom 95%. Right? So he looked at these statistics from the Social Security Administration, and these statistics are still the same today. Out of 100 people who work 45 years, their entire working life, you're going to have one person is going to be rich. 4 people will be financially independent. That's the top 5%. The bottom 9%, 5 will still be working. 28% will be dead, or 28 of them will be dead, and 62 of them will be dead broke. That's the bottom 95%. That's the bottom 95%. So again, the top 5% After a 45-year working career, right? From age 20 to 65, that's 45 years. One person will be rich. Four people will be financially independent. 5 people still working. 28 people will be dead, and 62 people will be dead broke. So the 2-sentence wealth formula is as simple as it gets. If you want to become wealthy, then you have to find out what the top 5% of people do financially and do the same thing. But by default, you must also find out what the bottom 95% are doing, and don't do that ever. How many of you guys are still doing a lot of the same things that the bottom 95% are doing? Right? That's why you got to get like my man AV. He's plugged into Club Millie. He's plugged into the Black Wealth Movement. He's plugged into everywhere he can plug into these wealthy people so he can find out what they do financially and do that. But by default, the more you learn about what wealthy people do, the more evident it becomes to you why broke people are broke, and you stop doing those things. You stop hanging with those people. I mean, it's so serious, y'all. I mean, broke is contagious, man. It is contagious because we're a social people. We don't want to feel like we're outcasts. We want to fit in. So whatever everybody else is doing, we want to do that too, so we don't feel like an outcast. But I'm going to tell you right now, man, cast me the heck out. Because I'm not trying to live 45 years in poverty, man. I'm not trying to live broke. I'm trying to build a legacy. Well, let me rephrase that, because you realize that you either do or you don't do. There is no try, right? Words of the legendary Yoda from the Star Wars franchise. Do legacy for my family. That means I have to get away from broke people, broke-minded people, broke thinking people, broke behaving people. There are people right now gearing up to do some of the most brokest activities on the planet right now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's about to be Brown Wednesday, Black Thursday, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's about to go down in broke activities for the year. I'm not trying to have no part of that, man. You have to stop doing what broke people do if you don't want to be broke. But the flip side, you have to start doing what wealthy people do financially if you want to have wealth. So I think we got just about 5 or 6 of them down today. Difference between broke people and wealthy people. First and foremost, wealthy people understand how money works. I want you to write these down, man, because this is some powerful stuff. And I thank my team, man, because I had really gotten away from, billionaires read 5 books a month. It's been about 6 months since I've read 5 books in a single month. So I got to get back to reading daily and really feeding my brain. So my team challenged me to do, we're part of the Black Wealth Movement. So they said, well, let's do a Black Wealth Movement book club. And we picked this as the first book. And if you guys want to grab this book, Myron Golden's From the Trash Man to the Cash Man, simply go to books.financialhealthmentor.com and you can grab this book and you can read along with us. More importantly, why don't you just join the Black Wealth Movement and you can really get along with us, all right? But that's neither here nor there. All right. Number one, first things first, wealthy people understand how money works. Poor people only understand how to work for money. Yeah, reduce the, man, it changes so much, Kermit. It changes so much. Yeah, from the trash man to the cash man. If you want to get a copy of it, go to books.financialhealthmentor.com. You'll see the Black Wealth Movement logo and our Book of the Month Club, and that's the book that we're on this month. And if you want to catch up, we're reading 4 chapters per week. Wealthy people understand how money works. Poor people only understand how to work for money. How many of you guys have yet to start a business in 2017? Publicly say it if you don't want to. But I want you to get this. Broke people only understand how to work for money. If that is all you're doing is working for money, you are setting yourself up to be broke your entire life. Wealthy people understand how money works. Poor people only understand how to work for money. That is critical. That is critical. I'm going to read you something here, and this is, I still got to do my official book excerpt of the day, but I want you to get how he breaks these numbers down so that you can understand how wealthy people understand how money works versus poor people, right? And he uses the rule of 72 as an example, but I like the way he flips it. Here he says, let me show you how. You put your money in a bank account that will give you less than 3%, sometimes even less than 1% interest on your money. Then you get a credit card through the same bank and you borrow your own money from that bank at 18 to 24%. No wonder most people are broke. They loan their money to the bank at less than 3% interest and borrow it back for 18 to 24%. You guys get the game that's being played with you. I tell you all the time, the real banker secret, right? You guys remember anybody remember the real banker secret? Do I need to lean in and whisper it in your ear? Somebody type in the real banker secret if you know it. He says, we will lend the bank our money for less than 3%, sometimes less than 1%, then turn around and borrow it back via a car loan, via a credit card, via some sort of finances, via student loan, and borrow our money back for 18 to 24%. How the heck are we ever going to win with those numbers? Right? Anybody got the real banker secret they want to type in? The real banker secret. If you guys don't remember, I'll lean in and whisper it to you. I don't want to tell everybody. See, a lot of people think the rule of 72 is the banker secret, right? That's it, Robert. The real banker secret is banks don't have no money. They make all of their money off your money. That's the real banker secret. And when you realize that, you'll stop going to your local bank on the corner, because if somebody's going to use my money to make money, they at least got to pay me. So, number one, wealthy people understand how money works. They understand how this money game is played very, very well. And then he says this. He says this is also critically important. Let me see if I can find it. He says, I'm not going to look for it. When you don't understand the rules and the principles of money and how money works, then those rules and principles will always be used against you. When you don't understand how money works, the laws, the principles, you don't understand that, then the people who do understand it will always use those principles against you. That's why broke people stay broke and wealthy people stay wealthy. See, Nefertiti says, what do you do for saving? I'm going to tell you like my man Robert Kiyosaki says, and don't take offense. This is not at you. Robert Kiyosaki says savers are losers. He says savers are losers. Now, I realize that's a double entendre. If I say savers are losers, it sounds like I'm calling you a loser. That's not it. I don't want you to take that meaning. I want you to take the other meaning. He says savers are losers, meaning if you're getting less than 1% on your money that you're saving in a bank account, and the rate of inflation is growing at about 3 to 5%, you're getting less than 1% on what you're saving, and the cost of living is going up by 3 to 5%. That means you are literally losing the money that you think you're saving. So what you do for savings, you use the bank, you use your retail bank for what it's intended for. Mediums of electronic exchange. I have a money in a bank account so I can pay for things with a bank card. But I don't have money in that account and thinking that I'm somehow building wealth. So how do I network with people trying to build right now? I'm ready to invest in my own business and I am alone. You need to text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. I can plug you into our network. It's not free. It's $35 per month, but we're a network of about 300 men and women who are building. Text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. So that's what you use the bank for, is you use the bank so that you can rent a car. You use the bank so that you can pay for hotels with a debit card. But don't use the bank thinking that you're investing. You use investment banks for that. And you can have money placed in certain funds. Municipal bond funds is one that's pretty good, where you can access that money, but at the same time, it's growing at a faster rate of return than the rate of inflation. Right? So it's just about becoming financially educated. All right. So number one, wealthy people understand how money works. Poor people only understand how to work for money. Number two says, I don't care of the cost. 314-874-6887. 874-6887. Yeah. Text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. Andrea says this should be in the school system. I'm going to tell you why it's not in the school system, Andrea, because those who know capitalize on those who don't know. If too many people knew how money worked in this country, those who got all the money wouldn't be able to capitalize on our ignorance. So that's why the Black Wealth Movement exists, to bring financial literacy to our community. We've got to start teaching this stuff to each other, right? So, and that's what we're doing. And for those who want to know my pedigree, a lot of people want to know, did you study this stuff in school? Do you study finance? No, I sit under the feet of a man who's worth about $650 million. And that's where I learned from. So if you're looking for somebody who's got a degree in finance, I'm not the guy. But I can connect you to some millionaires, some decamillionaires, some mega millionaires, and the collective net worth of the people about $1 million collectively. Yeah, that's who we're plugged into. Number two, wealthy people spend on education, spend on entertainment. Wealthy people spend on education. Poor and broke people spend on entertainment. Yes, I do see your comments, Giovanni. So So understand that if you guys have never seen my show on the E to E ratio, that's a good show to go look up. Go to YouTube and look up Financial Health Mentor E to E ratio. What is your E to E ratio? That is your education to entertainment ratio. Are you spending the same amount of money to educate yourself as you do to entertain yourself? Do you spend the same amount of money to educate yourself that you do to entertain yourself? See, in the book, he says, poor and broke people collect CDs. Wealthy people collect books, build libraries. Poor people collect TVs. They got TVs in every room. Wealthy people collect experiences from seminars and workshops. What is your E to E ratio? If you're spending $100 a month on your cable bill, or you at least spending $100 per month on your education? Huh? Did I just say that out loud? If you go to your city's sports team and you support them, right? So if you go to we're in St. Louis, so St. Louis Cardinals, they didn't make the playoffs, but I want you to think about this. A lot of St. Louis Cardinals fans will go to at least one game every month, and they will take their family. Family of four, if they go see a Cardinals game, will spend anywhere from $200 to $400. Are they spending $200 to $400 per month on education? Right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you spending $100 a month on cable. I'm saying, which I know you do, Bethany, in addition to you spending that $100 a month on cable, do you balance that out a month on your education? And I know you're in workshops and stuff all the time. So, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying or bashing anybody for spending money on cable. I'm saying, is your E to E ratio at least balanced? Right? Janet Jackson was just in St. Louis a couple weeks ago. Brothers and sisters alike spent $1,000 to go see Janet Jackson. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Some of them took their daughters and they had a wonderful and amazing experience there. But did they take that same $1,000 and pump something into their children that's going to help benefit their children years down the road? That's the question. That's the question. What is your E to E ratio? Poor people have an E to E ratio that's 10 to 1. They spend 10 times the amount of money that they do on entertainment than they do on education. Wealthy people have an E to E ratio that's also 10 to 1. They spend 10 times the money on educating themselves than they do on entertainment. Your priorities right is what he's saying. So you got to understand that. Spend on education and broke people spend on entertainment. Number 3, broke and poor people only work jobs. Wealthy people build businesses. Broke people work jobs. And this is crazy for me because, you know, some of the stuff that I've been preaching and teaching for the last 3 years or so, publicly, I've always been preaching this stuff to my family over the years, but publicly with the show, and we're really trying to educate and step out there and make this my mission for our people. But you know, when you work in a job, you're being paid pennies on a dollar, right? I'm gonna let that one marinate. You know, when you're working a job and they're paying you to do that job, you're getting paid pennies on a dollar. Because if you were not being paid pennies on a dollar, I wouldn't be a good businessman. If what I was paying you wasn't worth more to me than the money that I'm giving you, then that's not good business. That's not making an announcement on Facebook about a new book instead of a new episode of Empire coming out. Right on. Right on. So understand that wealthy people understand that time is their most valuable asset, and they understand it so fundamentally well is that they will pay you a few dollars to save them some time. And if you haven't come to terms with that, working a job means you're earning pennies on a dollar, then you need to wake up to that fact. Now, I'm not telling anybody to go quit their job. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the job. Just understand the position that you're in on your job, with your job. You are a liability. Your salary on your job is a liability. So the fastest way to increase shareholders' profits is to cut liabilities. Just fine. Business owner, if I paid you to do something for me, what I'm paying you to do will save me time, which I value more than the money that I'm giving you. Know that if your job is paying you 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, even $100,000 a year, what you're bringing to the table has to be worth at least $500,000 a year. If not, that company isn't doing good business. If I'm exchanging money with you for your time and all I'm getting back is an equal exchange, that's not an investment. As a company, I want a return on every dollar I put out. So if I put $40,000 into your paycheck and another $40,000 into your healthcare plan, that's $80,000 invested in you. You got to know that I'm pulling $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 off the efforts that you're bringing to the table. So you, my friend, are being paid pennies on a dollar for your effort. Just remember that. Not to say quit your job. Just remember that their time is more valuable than your time, and it's evident by the fact that they're paying you to do stuff that they don't have time to do. And you best believe they try to figure out how to do your job without you. Absolutely. So that leads us to our quote of the day. It is 7:40 here by my clock. So the book excerpt of the day obviously comes from this book that we're studying, right? So on the fact that he says businesses, he says most rich people don't have jobs. And I want you guys to get this. Don't go quit your job today. But if you don't have a business, start a business today. You can start a business with us, your own financial education franchise for $35 to start, $35 per month. And you learn all of these strategies and we teach you how to build a business around it. So don't go quit your job today. But if you don't have a business, start a business today, right? It's crazy, bananas. Another difference between poor people and rich people is that poor people have jobs, whereas rich people own businesses. Businesses, plural. I think everybody on here who has a business has more than one business. Poor people have jobs, whereas rich people own businesses. More than 80% of rich people became rich by owning their own business. What's the title of the show? Stop doing what broke people do. Stop doing broke people stuff expecting to get wealthy. You're working your job and you're trying to figure out how to get the job to make you wealthy. The job ain't designed to make you wealthy. The job is designed to fund your right now, and the right now that your job should be funding is not just your lifestyle, food on the table, clothes on your back. It should also be funding your business so you can work yourself out of a job, right? More than 80% of rich people became rich by owning their own business. There's only 4 ways to get wealthy in this country, man. 4 ways to acquire wealth in this country. You can buy it, you can build it, you can steal it, or you can inherit it. It's only 4 ways to acquire wealth in this country. Did y'all catch that? You either buy it, you build it, you steal it, or you inherit it. Now, you notice how it says 80% of the people who are rich did it through building businesses, right? 20% of the people stole it. We know that we're on the stolen land. Right? We know that we are on the stolen land. So most of the wealth in this country has been stolen. Right? You think wealth is not being stolen every day? Ask TLC. Ask New Edition. You buy, build it, steal it, or inherit it. A way that you can buy wealth is investing in other people's businesses. So you're buying ownership in something that's growing in value. So you're buying wealth. You're buying assets. You're buying gold. You're buying paper assets, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, things of that nature. You can buy it. You can build it. Like me, I'm building my businesses from scratch. People ask me all the time, bro, what you doing with Bitcoin? I ain't doing nothing with Bitcoin. And this is not against anybody who's investing in Bitcoin. I'm just betting on me. So all of my money, all my resources are going into my own ability, my private equity business. There's nothing wrong with anybody who's buying wealth through Bitcoin or any other resources. But my mentor, who's worth over 600 million, says, build your wealth first. And then you take the money that you get from building your wealth, then you buy your wealth second. See, a lot of people are saying, get Bitcoin now because it's going up in value. And that's good. That's absolutely good. But if I build my own business enterprise to where I'm making $80,000 a month, you think I can buy me a few Bitcoins? I'm just saying there's a different way investing in, and you can't discount that. You got to invest in you. I'm betting on me all day, every day, and twice on Sundays because I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to bring to the table, right? Nothing against the folks at Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these places. I just can't guarantee with 100% certainty that they're going to go hard as me. I just can't guarantee that. Right. But no, I will definitely get some Bitcoin, but my focus is building my private equity business. I'm betting on me 100% right now. So the money that could be going into Bitcoin is actually going into my infrastructure. So rich people, 80% of rich people became rich by owning business. Poor people seek to get a job. Rich people look to give somebody else a job. Poor people seek to get a job. Rich people seek to give somebody else a job. Think about it. Rich people value their time so much that they hire people to do things they don't want to do. But poor people will gladly get paid to do what those of us who are rich really don't want to do. Right? Today's daily book excerpt was brought to you by financialhealthinsurance.com. Guys, if you don't have insurance on your life, the same way that you got insurance on your cell phone, the same way that you got insurance on your automobile, you don't have insurance on your income, the same way that you insure your cell phone. I want you to go to financialhealthinsurance.com. Put in your name, phone number, state, and email address, and we will get some information to you so we can get you a quote. A lot of people don't realize that it's not, life insurance is too expensive. Basic final expense for most people, if you're healthy and you're a non-smoker, $20 a month, man. And you can get you some coverage to at least bury yourself. Don't put that burden onto your family of what they're going to do with you and all that kind of stuff. So don't do that. You can actually you can actually get yourself covered. Add a couple extra dollars to that, $5 or $10. Now you got basic final expense, and you got disability. So if you get into an accident and you're off your feet for 12 months, most Americans don't have $1,000 in savings. So, and most of them don't have an emergency fund. So if you're off your feet for 12 months and can't work and you don't have disability insurance, chances are your whole life is going to go into a downward spiral. Your whole life. Because you didn't have coverage. So you cover your cell phone, you cover your car, man, cover your income and cover your loved ones via final expense insurance at the very least. Now, if you want to learn how to build a bank and become your own bank through insurance, that's a whole nother game that's being played that we don't know nothing about, right? So we can talk about that as well. All right, so that was number 4. That was number 3, man. We got to fly. All right, so number 4, wealthy people don't set limits on themselves. They think and both. Poor people do set limits on themselves. They think either or. So either I can have my dreams, or wealthy people say, I'm going to have my dreams and I'm going to work this job temporarily to help fund my dreams. See, poor people think either or. Wealthy people think they think both and both, right? How can I get both? Poor people say stuff like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Wealthy people saying, what the heck you mean? I can't eat my cake unless I first have it. So you can have your cake and eat it too. Wealthy people are thinking and both. Poor people are thinking either or. I want to build my legacy for my family, but I got to work, so I can't do both. I have to choose to feed them right now and let the next generation fend for themselves. Right? That's the kind of, it's a shift in mentality. They think either or. It's another good one. There's another good one. Number 1, 2, 3. That's 4. Number 5. Wealthy people focus on opportunities. Broke people focus on obstacles. Man, you guys hear that alarm going off in the back? It's driving me crazy. Poor people focus on obstacles. Wealthy people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles. Wealthy people focus on opportunities. The title of the show says we're going to stop doing broke people-ish today and expect to get well. So you can't keep focusing on your obstacles, because that's what broke people do, and then expect to be or expect to get well. You can't do that. Broke people focus on, and all they do is complain and talk about their obstacles. Wealthy people, especially when you get into starting and running businesses, everything I see now as a challenge, I'm thinking about becoming, how do I come up with a solution that I can package and sell and present to the marketplace and make money off of providing the solution for this obstacle. Broke people, on the other hand, see the obstacle, they stop what they're doing and they stare at the obstacle, they complain about the obstacle, they talk to their neighbor about the obstacle, all while they're doing nothing to overcome, get around, get through, get under the obstacle. That's what's going on. Wealthy people, on the other hand, see a challenge and they say, this is a challenge for me. Chances are it's a challenge for a bunch of other people. Let me solve this challenge, and then I'm going to package and present my solution to the marketplace and get paid for solving the challenge for other people. That's what we've got to start doing, y'all. That's what we got to start doing. Here's the other negative to focusing on the challenge. When you focus on a challenge, you get what you focus on, right? When you're constantly focusing on a challenge or a problem versus solution, whatever you focus on becomes grander, bigger, bolder. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger in your life. And when you make something in your mind that astronomically big, then you become frightened to do anything about it. You make this little molehill of a problem, you turn it into a mountain, and now you start thinking, I can't do anything about it. So you sit there and you stand there in awe of it and paralyzed about it because you in your mind made this tiny thing something ginormous. But you know what wealthy people do? They focus solely on solutions. And the more they focus on solutions, the smaller the problem gets. The more they focus on solutions, the smaller the problem gets. That's what you got to understand. Stop focusing on your obstacles and start focusing on the opportunities that is presented by your obstacles. That is number 5, right? Last one, man. Last one. We're going to get out of here. Wealthy people only take financial advice from other wealthy people. Broke people only take financial advice from other broke people. Do you guys see how the perpetual cycle? I'm wealthy, and I am only willing to take financial advice from other people. I'm going to continue to perpetually stay wealthy. If I'm broke, and the only people I connect with and take financial advice from is other broke people, I stay in a perpetual state of brokenness. Wealthy people only take financial advice from people who are as rich or richer than them. Broke people only take financial advice from people who are as broke or broker than them. So how will you ever get out of being broke if you only take advice from broke people? I talk to people all the time about building wealth and starting a business and how that can benefit you. And this is what I do full time. I don't have a job. I don't work for nobody. This is what I do full time. I build businesses and I help other people build businesses. But when I talk to you or a typical broke-minded person about the benefits of having a business and why they should start a business, they get fired up. They say, yeah, that makes sense. But then you know what they do? They go talk to somebody who is broker than them, who works on the same job with them. And instead of listening to the full-time entrepreneur teach them how to become an entrepreneur, they go and listen to the full-time employee about why they should not become an entrepreneur. It's baffling. It's baffling, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You don't listen to the full-time entrepreneur about entrepreneurship. You listen to the person who's working a job tell you how risky being an entrepreneur is. Wow. We got to stop doing broke people-ish expecting to get wealthy. We got to stop doing broke people-ish expecting to get wealthy. It's never going to happen. Thanksgiving is coming up. Some of y'all already know that check Thanksgiving weekend is going right to the retail stores. You guys know this about Black people? Black people have the lowest median income of all other cultures on the planet, but we account for about 80% of all retail spending. Yeah, I'm gonna run that one back for y'all. Black people have the lowest net worth of any culture in America. And in America, we account for 80% of all retail spending. Now, I'm gonna let that sink in for some of you guys who are getting ready for Black Friday and all of this stuff coming up, this whole holiday shopping season. The YouTube channel is Financial Health Mentor. I know this is backwards, but that's my brand, Financial Health Mentor. So the YouTube channel is youtube.com/Financial Health Mentor. So let me just do, I'm gonna give you some numbers real quick. I can say with ease, with certainty, and I'm not talking from what I heard, I'm telling you what I know. We're gonna spend at least $1,500, $2,500 on Christmas. I've been there. I had a year where I spent both November and December mortgage on Christmas presents for my kids. So I know the mentality and the psychology of broke people, right? Because that's what I'm working to fix every day. Every day, the wealthy Cortez is fighting with the broke Cortez every single day. When the scripture says you got to die to self daily, the broke Cortez and the wealthy Cortez fight every single day. And the one that I continue to feed is the one that will ultimately become victorious and reign supreme. So I've got to read books like this. I've got to associate with a network of people who are going to keep me hungry and keep me motivated and keep me feed. Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on, man. The broke Cortez and the wealthy Cortez fight all day, every day. But I'm continuing to feed the wealthy Cortez so I can starve the broke Cortez. So if we're going to spend $2,500 per year, guys, I'm going to tell you something, man. If you put $2,500 into an investment account and where it earns, matter of fact, I hate to do this because I don't. Let me just do this because you guys know I'm about building generational wealth. Let me just share some numbers with you guys real quick. I just want to share some numbers with you guys really, really quickly, man, because we got to stop doing broke people-ish expecting to get wealthy, right? Let's do some wealthy people-ish this Christmas. Put wealthy people-ish in the comments if you're going to do some wealthy people-ish this Christmas. If you want to do some wealthy people stuff this Christmas, put wealthy people-ish in the comments, right? So a one-time lump sum payment, it's easy to say we're going to spend $2,500 on Christmas, $2,500 on Christmas, right? Most people don't believe you get double-digit returns on your money, but I'm going to put at 14% rate of return, right? And I'm going to say you had a wealthy people-ish moment this year, and you never had another wealthy people-ish moment. You went back to doing broke people-ish for the next 20 years. You put that $2,500 in and just let it sit there. Don't put a single dime into it for another 20 years. It's going to grow to $40,000 in 20 years, right? Now, what if 20 years from now, you do another wealthy people-ish move and you say, you know what? I was going to give this money to my kids, but instead, I'm going to give it to their grandkids. So I'm going to will it to them. So that means it gets to continue to grow for another 30 years. So now you got 40 that's going to grow for your grandchildren for another 30 years. At the same 14% rate of return. We're talking about when you build generationally, that's going to grow to $2,603,000, $2,603,386.45. And yes, I want my 45 cents. So you're talking about in 2 generations, you put a $2,500 investment away and let it ride. And in 50 years, that's 2 generations, it became $2.6 million. We gotta stop doing broke jigger-ish. See, my wife don't like me to cuss and use the N-word, but sometimes it's just fitting, man. We gotta stop doing broke nigga-ish and expect to get wealthy. We just gotta stop it. We gotta stop it. So this is what we're talking about. And what if you say, what if we parlayed that one more generation and we said, you know what? All the grandkids, maybe you got your kids had a couple kids, you got 10 grandkids, and you say, okay, I'm gonna take half of this 2.6 million and I'm gonna split it amongst my 10 grandkids. They're all gonna get a couple $100,000 a piece inheritance. But I'm gonna take the other 1.3 million and I'm gonna let it ride for their children another 20 years. So 1.3 million. Let me make sure I got my zeros right. 1,300,000. And we're gonna let that ride for another 25 years. We gave half of it to the grandchildren. But the word says that I want to make a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children generationally. So we gave half of it to the grandchildren. And we're going to leave the other half to ride for the great grandchildren. 1.3 million. Another 25 years grows to $42,186,700.51. And yes, I want my 51 cents. See, if you're not already part of the Black Wealth Movement, this is what we learn. This is what we're executing. This is what we're teaching. Multi-generational wealth building. See, a lot of people are talking about building wealth. We're executing. A lot of people are talking about building wealth. We're executing. And if somebody invited you here to hear what I'm saying, chances are they're already part of our movement, and you want to get with them so you can learn how to get double-digit returns on your money. You want to get with them so that you can learn how, like, wealthy people don't pay a dime in taxes more than they absolutely have to. We show you how to minimize your taxes. You want to get with them because wealthy people understand the power of credit. How to leverage credit, how to keep good credit. Wealthy people will give their children their credit. Poor people will put beepers in their kids' name and jack their credit up before they're 10 years old. But you got to understand these principles. You got to be willing to invest in yourself to get around people like us so we can teach you what we're learning from multi-millionaires so we can help you become one. See, I don't have to do this. How many of you guys know that there are tons of people out here who know what I just shared with you right now, but they're not teaching our people this, and they look like me? I'm not talking about other coaches. It's not other coaches' responsibility to teach me how to build wealth. I'm talking about there's other people who look just like me, who know what I'm sharing with you now, and they're not teaching this to our people. I don't have to do this. This information right here, I could just keep amongst my family, me and my 5 sons, my wife, my brothers and sisters, and we can just be teaching this, and we can just be building and not telling nobody nothing. But I want our people to come up. Everybody who's sharing this stream, who's already a part of our movement, we are in this thing for our people to come up, not just ourselves to come up. So that's what we want you guys to get. A lot of you saying, man, $35 a month, that's another bill. Look at all the other bills that you got. How many of them other bills is putting you in front of millionaires to learn bills? Yeah, if you can't see it as an investment, cool. If you can only see it as a bill, cool. How many other bills do you have that's putting you in front of multimillionaires and giving you wealth building strategies so you can get rid of your bills? Right? Now, I know this is an investment. I see it as an investment. I'm investing in me every month, $35 to have access to millionaires. Most people say, man, I don't need to. I literally talk to people say, man, I don't need another bill right now. I don't need another bill right now. That's what they tell me. I say it's $35 a month to learn how to build wealth. They say, I don't need another bill right now. And the minute it get tight, they're going to run right down to the payday loan store, borrow $400 or $500 and pay back $2,500, but they don't need another bill right now. Like my man Evan Jefferson says, we sick, boss. So if you're serious about joining the Black Wealth Movement, if somebody invited you here, definitely get with them. If you're here because you follow me, then let's get off the fence. Let's get in the game. I said that alarm in the background tells me it's time to wake up. Right? You know, I'm here by myself. I don't want to leave the show to go unplug that mug, but I don't. And it's funny, that clock, you never set the alarm, but it goes off at 8 o'clock every day regardless, because it's broken like that, right? Says King, I just joined in. May you share an example of leveraged income strategies? Absolutely, man. And this is one thing that we as Black people don't like, because we see it as getting paid off other people. So the Black Wealth Movement, we have a network marketing model to what we do. So if you joined us today, let me see, who was that said that? Paris, if you joined us today, I would earn some commission based on referring you to our financial success membership. Then if you, Paris, know 100 people who are serious about building wealth, and you went out and got all of those 100 people to join our network, you would make a ton of money, and I would make a little bit of leverage income off your efforts. Simply meaning that because I introduced you to the program that you fell in love with, and you start telling everybody you know about it, and I helped train and get you plugged in and taught you everything that you need to know, then I start earning a little bit of leverage income. Now, if I too go out and find me 100 people like Paris who also know 100 people that want to build, and all of those people, so I took my efforts and trained 100 people, and I earned a little bit of income off those 100 people. No, I earned a lot of income off those 100 people. Then those 100 people went and trained 100 people how to do the same thing. Now I got 1,000 people in my organization. They earned the most money because they trained those 100 people, and I earned a little bit of leverage income because I didn't do the work, but I started them in this whole franchise deal. So I earned a little bit of leverage income off all 1,000. So that's leverage income, and Black people typically don't understand that, and we are the most leveraged people on the planet. So we are being constantly leveraged, but we don't understand leverage. 809, thanks for the time check. So we're a little bit after the hour. I appreciate you guys. Us building on each other is helping each other. Yep. Can you tell me how many things you can do with an LLC? I can't tell you how many things that you can do with it, because you can do a lot. But basically, an LLC just allows you to start a business and separate and protect yourself from a liability standpoint, so that you have a separate entity from you, the individual. So you, the individual, or you, the LLC, can operate in a certain way. And if something happens where the LLC crumbles or the LLC is sued, you're protected to a certain extent where it does not affect you, the individual. So someone can sue the business and not take the things that you own personally, for the most part. You guys know that that is a legal structure, and all legal structures have loopholes. This is not me giving you any legal advice or any tax advice, but yeah, you want to separate yourself from from that. So, all right, guys, that's it for today, man. Tomorrow, we're going to come back and we're going to do part 2 of this. So today was stop doing broke people-ish and expecting to be wealthy. Tomorrow, we're going to do start doing wealthy people-ish and expect to be wealthy. Start doing wealthy. So I'm going to give you some things that you need to start doing if you want to be wealthy. Again, today's show is brought to you by Young Biz Kids. Guys, if you want to donate to our nonprofit organization, buy 2 tickets to our awards luncheon. Then I will give you a free consultation for an hour. I will give you 3 months to Monetize My Life Academy, which is an online marketing school where you can learn how to build a brand and all that kind of stuff. And I will give you a business plug on the show, right? Give you a business plug on the show. I say good morning. So happy that you are giving people the opportunity to well, yeah. I want to join my friend. Okay. All right, let's do it, man. All you got to do is inbox me or text me at Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. And if you guys are just joining in, go ahead and catch the replay from the beginning. Until I talk to you guys tomorrow, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve it. Peace out, people.